record button. So tonight, I'm also just gonna mute everyone, or you can mute yourself, or I'll just mute everyone because it's easy. Okay, but if you have anything that you want to say, please unmute yourself. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Amanda. So please unmute yourself if you have anything that you want to add. Okay. Make sure that these slides are visible. Can everybody see the slides? I'm such a visual learner, so. Okay, so first of all, thank you guys so much for being here. I know that, it is a sacrifice to be here. I know that it is. And I know that it's, time out of your day. And when, tonight we're talking about having an all-in mindset and, going from that to all in. And for me, I think that the biggest difference with coaches who go all in and who see, momentum in their business is investing their time in stuff like this, in, investing their time in the things that are going to push their businesses forward. And so all of you are here, and I think that that is amazing. The fact that you're here shows that you are, one of those all-inners. So I just want to start out with some announcements. Shout out to the people who are leading in Success Club right now. You guys are doing so awesome. And remember, I totally mean what I say when I tell you that, Success Club is not the end all. Those of you who are sharing your journey, those of you who are, building your following, that is equally as important. But Success Club is, the way that you know that you're making an income. So these people are the ones who are making an income, and I'm so proud of you all. Amanda is at 6, Melissa is at 4, Vanessa is at 2, Rochelle is at 2, and Sherry's at 2. And Rochelle and Melissa are both in their 3rd month of qualification for Success Starters. Success Starters is when you earn Success Club in the first 3 months of your business. You get a free ticket to the Coach Summit for the following year. So those tickets are like $300, and so it's a really awesome thing. And also, you just get to say, "Oh yeah, I was a Success Starter." Like when you go to Super Saturday and stuff, they have the Success Starters stand up, and it feels really good to be able to stand up and be like, "Yeah, I'm a Success Starter." What? So, congrats to the leaders. Also, I was thinking the last team call that we did 2 weeks ago, the week before I went to Mexico, was about free groups. And I think that we should do a team-wide free group. I'm thinking May 14th through the 18th. That'll give everybody plenty of time to wrap their head around it, start inviting to it, maybe watch the team call on free groups again. And it'll also give me time to go live in the team page with how to set up your event page and all of that stuff. But it would be a group that we would all run together as a team. So I was thinking either squats or arms. At 9:15, I have a poll scheduled to post in the Freedom Collective Coach Family page. Vote squats or arms. And we'll do that. I would love to do squats because I'm supposed to be doing like 300 a day. But I'm open to doing arms if you guys want to. There's also, I'm doing a new vitals poll in the team page every day this week. And it'll probably be more like 2 or 3 times a week from here on out. But you guys, the vitals are everything. And if we can start checking in with that, just like we check in the challenge group with, we rate our day every day. And that helps, I don't know about you, but that helps me be more serious about my nutrition, about my Shakeology, everything, because I know I have to rate my day at the end of the day. And so if we can go all in and, rate ourselves in the team page for our vitals, I think that'll be really, really awesome. So make sure that you check into that every day this week. Before 8 o'clock, it'll be posted Eastern time. And then May mentorship is launching. So if you're still on step 1, or if you're like just starting step 2, I want to challenge you to join the May new coach training mentorship thread and finish in the time allotted, like finish with the group and do the assignments on the allotted day, because I know that you'll see so much momentum in your business if you do that. And then finally, I want to start doing something different for Team Call. And that's every single one of us. Share a victory you've had this month in the chat box. I would love to see, maybe you had some sort of personal success. Maybe you had your biggest paycheck ever. Maybe you helped somebody that, you didn't think you were ever going to be able to get through to. Maybe you have somebody who's interested in joining you and you had a really good conversation with them. Maybe someone told you that you inspired them. I would love to see you give yourself a shout out in the chat box. Okay, now this week we're going to do something a little bit different. We do a lot of instructional calls, like this is how you run a free group. This is how you, get to Emerald. This is this, and so I want to take a little bit of a step back, give you some time to implement everything that you've learned over the last few months and focus on some stuff that's really easy to overlook or maybe not even think about. These are just some small tweaks that you can make in your business and your lifestyle in general that'll make a big difference in your business in the long run. So I know a lot of coaches struggle with dabbling in this business instead of diving in. And, I also see a lot of coaches who go all in and they crush it. And they say that they want to reach goals and they hit them. And, that being said, I know that every single person who's here right now is taking their business seriously, even if you're not quite, getting started with like the vitals yet. If you're focusing on, training, if you're focusing on your own journey, I know that you are taking your business seriously because you're here. And if you weren't, you wouldn't be here. And, I know that there have been so many times in my business, with all that being said, that I just start to lose some fire and I just need a little mindset check. And that is what this call is about. It's about reigniting that fire, getting a little gut check. So I want to encourage you to ask yourself throughout the call, am I in that state of mind or am I all in? Because this is practical stuff that you can apply that'll get you some results if you're willing to examine yourself. So I'll tell you that 100%, the number one reason that I've been successful in this business is because I never sat on the sidelines. I always dove in. When my upline told me to do something, I did it. Even if it was wrong, I still did it. I listened to what she said and I did it. And, I was constantly devouring trainings. YouTube became my Netflix and I just started learning everything that I could. I was constantly in the FAQ. I was on team call every single week. I was in the coach family page every single day. And I was in the challenge group, just doing what I could as a challenger. And so all of you are star challengers in my challenge group, just FYI. You guys are amazing. And I know that, let me see if any of you, I don't think anyone in here is quite running a challenge group on their own yet, but I know that there are definitely people in the downline who are. But I just want to share a few practical things that'll help you push your business forward, help you alter your mindset, and just really help you go for it this month. So, number one, the very most important thing that I believe sets apart the all-inners from the ers is time. It's time. And here's the thing. It's not about how much time you have to put into your business at all. That's not what it's about. It's about what you do with your time. I think that we get into this mindset of like, I need to be more efficient, or I need to, I need to do all the things. But really, it's not about what you do with your time, or it's not about how much time you have. It's about what you do and the things that you focus on, because we're all busy. Like, it's just a matter of what we do. I have had days in my business where I sit and I stare at my computer for, several hours and I get nothing accomplished. And then there are other times when I sit down and I have my task list and I know what I need to accomplish and I get it all done. And, it's not about whether or not you have kids. It's not about whether or not you have a full-time job. It's not about whether or not you, are in school full-time. It's 100% about what you do with the time you put in. So, I'm not going to tell you right here exactly what you should be doing, because you guys know what you should be doing. If you have access to the new coach training, then you know what the power hour looks like. And that power hour is what you should be doing. That is, those are the income producing activities. Sending invites, starting conversations with, old friends and with new friends, making friends with people, connecting with people, inviting to the business opportunity, inviting to the challenge group, recognizing other people's progress, sharing your own journey. Those are the income producing activities. that are going to grow your business in a tangible way. And so, it's about what you do with the time you put in. So I think about Brittany Leggett. If you don't know who Brittany Leggett is, she is our superstar diamond upline. She's the person, who's like above us in our family tree, I guess you could say. And she's a 15-star diamond. She's our superstar diamond upline. And when she started her business, she was working a full-time job. She was a full-time nurse. And she was making $1,000 per week within 6 months of starting her business. She had no time to put into her business, but she worked efficiently, she worked effectively, and she made it happen. In the same respect, she had no time. In the same respect, I know of people who don't work outside of the home. They don't have kids, and they say that they want to go all in this business, and they are still not successful because they're not willing to put in, time and do the vitals and do their power hour. And they look at their, business hours, and during that time they scroll Facebook and they waste their time, and they call that working. And that's just not, it's not what we do. We don't scroll Facebook, so it's not about how much time you have. It's about what you do. And I can't say that enough. So I guarantee that if you have 2 hours per week even to put into this business, and you laser focus during those 2 hours, I'm not saying that you can build a 6-figure business in 2 hours a week. That would be ridiculous. But you can get a real start. You can get some traction. And, it's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take, letting go of some things in your life that probably don't need to be there in the first place. But those are things like television and junk food and maybe one less, night to go out or something. Sacrifice is a big part of this business at the beginning, especially when you want to move forward. But it is short term. It is short term. The sacrifice you make now for the purpose of creating that freedom for your family's future, that's so worth it. So, that's an investment in your future. So, don't push aside your power hour. This is the single most important part of your business. Get your tracker together and, track your activities so that you don't forget about the people that you've been chatting with. I'm so guilty of this. I've let so many people fall through the cracks, and I feel terrible about that. But tracking helps me stay organized and helps me not forget about anyone. Pre-plan your posts so that you're not scrambling. When I was on the airplane going to Mexico last week, I wrote 4 story posts, all of like the touchy-feely posts that you saw me post when I was in Mexico. I wrote all of those on the airplane, every single one of them. And I wrote 5 like fluffy posts so that I wouldn't have to worry about posting while I was on vacation in Mexico. I didn't want to have to work while I was there. Schedule your challenge group posts. If you're running a challenge group or a free group, schedule those. Use if you're an admin in a group, you can schedule the posts to post at whatever time you want. So use that. Do a ton with the time you have, and resist the urge, to scroll the news feed. When I'm in a time crunch, I set my timer for 10 minutes, and I don't spend more than 10 minutes on anything. I'll add friends for 10 minutes. I'll invite for 10 minutes. I'll follow up for 10 minutes. And sometimes that's all I have time for. And then, a really good tip that I found early on in my business was if you have Google Chrome, you can download an extension that kills the news feed. So when you go onto Facebook, it's literally blank. There's nothing there. You can go into groups and it'll show you what's in the groups. But if you have the news feed, you can't even see it. And that's helped me a ton to be efficient and effective with my time. And then finally, use lists. Have a list of people that you need to reach out to. Have a list of people that you need to invite. Have a list of people that you need to follow up with. And, stay organized with those lists, even if it's an Excel spreadsheet like the one that I use. And then just crank it out. When you've been slacking a little bit, just take an hour and just send out like 30 invites in 1 hour. We so overcomplicate this business. All it takes is a decision to do the business activities. And, so if you're having trouble with consistency, use the business activity tracker, use the power hour tracker, use the win the week tracker, whatever it is that you need to do to track your business, use it, and then turn it into your upline. Make yourself accountable to somebody, whether it's your success partner, whether it's me, whether it's, your husband, your wife, whoever. And then really use the new polls that I'm posting in the team page to track yourself and to hold yourself accountable and be honest with them, allow it to challenge you. So that's the first thing, is being efficient with your time and being effective with your time. The next thing that I want to talk about is, over the last few years, I've noticed one topic come up over and over and over and over in team calls and in my own personal development and in even just conversations with other coaches. And that is getting rid of negative words and using positive words. And that might seem like such a silly thing to focus on and such a, like, whatever, words don't matter, but they do. The words we use matter. And, when these words, the can't, the hope, the might, when those words start cropping up in my life, I know that there are changes that need to be made in my mindset or my behaviors. When I start saying, I can't get anyone to, commit this month. I really, really hope I can hit my goal. This month I'm sitting at Success Club 8 right now, even though I have like a zillion links out. I'm sitting at 8. And it would be really easy for me to say, I really hope I'm going to hit Success Club 10, but Success Club 10 is my non-negotiable baseline goal every month. And so it's not, I hope I'll hit Success Club. It's, I'm going to do everything that I can, everything within my power to make that happen. It's not, I might make it to team call, for example. It's, I'm going to commit to do that. All of these words, the can't, the hope, the might, the try, they mask a limiting belief in ourselves. We've already counted ourselves out when we're using those words. We've already decided that there's an alternative when we're using those words. We have already decided that we have a backup plan and we have to get rid of that backup plan. The words that we use affect our mindset, and then that affects our behaviors. So stop giving yourself a backup plan. Like, there's a whole slide on that. Get rid of the backup plan. There's no other option. If you want to build a business, you have to be serious about the goals that you set for yourself. Like, if you say that you're going to hit Success Club every month, and I use Success Club as an example just because it's like it's the easiest way to tell if you are, if your business is growing. If you're hitting Success Club, so if you have told yourself that you're going to do that, then tell yourself you're going to do it. Don't give yourself, the back door. There's something magical, honestly, that happens when we make this tiny, tiny little shift in the way that we talk to ourselves, that little bit of pressure that we put on ourselves by saying, yes, I will, rather than, I'm going to try. When we use those positive words, we put a little bit of pressure on ourselves, and we don't give ourselves an alternative. And that pressure can be hard, right? It's just like when, I don't know, like, what's a good option? Like when we work out, right? We have to lift weights, and those dumbbells put pressure on our muscles, and that pressure hurts, right? Like it hurts to do bicep curls. But by the end, that little bit of pressure helps our muscles to grow. And it's the same with this. That pressure that we put on ourselves helps us to grow, helps us to turn from coal into a diamond. That pressure helps us become something priceless and beautiful. And so, the ones who truly want to create that lifestyle of freedom and leave that legacy, the language you choose matters. That confidence is powerful. And it's not just for you and your mindset, but when you talk like this, when you convince yourself that all of these things are true, that trickles over into your audience. And, when you use positive words in your posts and confident, language in your posts, people are going to think, hey, she seems pretty sure that this is going to make a difference, or, hey, she really believes in what she has to offer. And it builds trust. It shows that we're credible, that we believe that what we are doing matters. And so remove those words from your vocabulary. I promise you that when you start, using positive language and owning that you are 100% capable of all of your goals, it'll do wonders for your confidence, and you'll see a huge shift in your business. So rather than, I want to show you this slide. So rather than I can't, I can't get my team to, I don't know. I can't get my challengers to rate their day. Rather than that, I need to figure out how to get my challengers to rate their day. I really hope that I'm going to hit my goal. I commit to hitting my goal. Rather than I might, I'm going to do everything within my power to. And rather than I'm going to try, I will. Reframe the way you speak to yourself, and you will reframe the way that you live. I truly, truly, truly believe that. And speaking of believing, I want to talk about that next. So 100% of coaches who operate in that mindset simply do not believe that this opportunity will help them. And so, they might think that they could maybe pay for their Shakeology, but it's probably going to be too hard and I can't actually do it. They might think that they will lose some weight. They might think that, this might be kind of a good thing. But guys, listen to this. I talk about this in my sneak peek. Coaches who never build their teams, coaches who just, it's just a coach and you don't have any other coaches on your team. Those coaches make an average of $500 a year, which is great. I mean, that's like a weekend away, right? Emerald coaches make an average of $3,000 a year. Diamond coaches make an average of $14,000 a year, which, those three like different groups of income, that's not a huge income, right? Like, I don't think that anyone would be super impressed by like, oh, awesome. As a coach, I can make 14 grand a year. That rocks. That, nobody's going to quit their full-time job for 14K. But you guys, when you advance to Star Diamond rank, which means you have a diamond on your team and you are a diamond yourself and above, the average income for Star Diamond coaches is $97,000 a year. And the top coaches in the network, Lindsay Matway is the top earner. She's making like $3 million a year, which I just think is mind blowing. And I don't even like to think about it because it makes me want to throw up. But that is the possibility here. That is what's possible. And in the beginning, obviously, you're going to be working really, really hard for really, really little, right? As an Emerald coach, I was making, I wasn't making great money as an Emerald coach, and I was an Emerald coach for a whole year. As a Diamond coach, I wasn't making, a ton. But when I truly stepped up and said, you know what, I need to do this, I did start seeing that growth, you guys. And I have to tell you that I never, ever believed that I would be making more than $1,000 a month, ever. I never thought that that was possible. But when I truly started believing that this process is proven and trusting that if I did the vitals, that if I did my power hour every day and I, did the things that my upline and my Star Diamond upline and my Superstar Diamond upline were telling me to do, that I would see results. My income started growing, my following started growing, and everything changed. And I just shared my income on my profile, and I mean, it blew my mind. It blew my mind that in such a short time that I could change my income so much. And I don't even want to talk too much about that because it's not about the money, but it is about the money, right? All of us are doing this because we want to make a living helping people, right? Like that's the goal. We want to be able to make a living doing this. And so, I was working 50 hours a week and in full-time ministry and taking master's music ed classes, which was about 80 hours a week. I added it all up, 80 hours a week total when I started my business. And I was sick and I was on a liquid diet and I was grumpy and I had nothing. I had no energy, you guys. But instead of watching Netflix at the end of the day, I did my power hour because I believed that if I did my power hour, that I would see success. Instead of sleeping in the morning, I did my power hour. Instead of taking lunch out, I sat at my desk during lunch and I did my power hour. And I ate while I did that. And, even when I didn't want to, I did the things that my upline told me would build my business because I was living less than paycheck to paycheck and I couldn't pay for groceries and my husband and I were fighting about money, and I believed 1,000,000% that this was going to be the answer to that problem. And 3 years later, the only reason that I, can say that I am where I am now is because I never stopped believing that I could do it. I never stopped believing that this was going to help my family. And that's why I can say without hesitation that if I can do it, going through all of that stuff, I know that you can do it. You might be going through more than I, was going through at that time, but I believe 1,000,000% that this opportunity equals freedom for my family. I 1,000,000% believe that I can help countless women who are struggling with postpartum depression and anxiety and eating disorders and loneliness and living paycheck to paycheck, or even just not making it at all financially. Women who are lonely, women who just need something positive in their lives. I 1,000,000% believe that Beachbody is the answer. And that Beachbody is the vehicle by which I can, help people with those things. And that is the only difference. I believe because I dove in from day one. I engaged in the coach groups. I found a success partner. I dove into the challenge group. I went all in. And, my unwavering belief is the direct reflection of all of that. And so, I want you to ask yourself, do I really believe that this could change my family's life? Do I really believe that I can help people with this? Do I really, really believe that these things are possible for me? Because if the answer is no, that's okay. It's okay. But if you want to make this happen for your family, belief has to be the first thing that you work on. And the way that you believe is by diving in and getting to know this business, because there are people who just want to make a few extra $100 every year, that $500 a year. And that's fine. I can help you, reach that goal. But if you're like me and you want to reach thousands of people, then, you just have to decide which one you are and believe that you can do it. Okay. Belief. I get really, really passionate about belief because it's so, so important. And then there's just two more little things. Next, I want to talk about protecting yourself from pointless behavior. I can't tell you how many times, not in our team really, but in Upgraded Alliance and with success partners that I've had in the past, I see all of these coaches spending tons of time in the coach pages, and somebody answers a question and they're like, zing, I'm going to answer that question. And then somebody posts something and they're like, zing, I'm going to comment on it. And they're always in the coach groups, and they're always in the challenge group, and they're always like, they're, rock stars behind the scenes, and yet they haven't posted on their own profile in a week. We have so much good to do. None of us have time to engage in behaviors that are going to stop us from doing that good, right? So let's talk about the pointless behaviors that we can avoid. First of all, engaging in negativity, whether it's on your timeline, whether it's, grumbling about something corporate did, or, something going up in your upline, or, gossiping about somebody else, be a positive force. Don't spread that negativity, spread the love. And I don't think I really need to talk too much about that because we're all awesome and we don't do that kind of crap. So next, scrolling the newsfeed. This one is so huge, you guys. I talked about the Chrome newsfeed killer. Get it, for real. When I sit down to do my power hour, I have my tracker. I have my Facebook, which, I either have my sneak peek or my free group or my posts on my own timeline up. And I have my messenger. And those are the three windows that I have up when I'm doing my power hour. And I do not look at the newsfeed because I get so distracted. And then I literally go through every single person who's liked or commented on my posts, and I message them and I say thank you, or I start a conversation with them, or I invite them. But I'm always looking for ways to connect and build a real friendship with people. When we scroll the news feed, it either divides our focus so we get distracted, or we start comparing ourselves to everybody else, and that is poisonous, right? Pointless behavior. So ignore that news feed. Just do your business activities, plug in, laser focus. And then the third one is I wrote down wait, rush. And what I'm talking about here is Success Club. And I can't tell you how many times in the beginning of my business that I spent like all of the time in the month procrastinating. And then it would be the last month or the last week, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I haven't hit my goal. What am I going to do? And then I felt like I was like icky trying to convince people that they should buy a challenge pack. And that felt really, really crappy, and I hated it. And so, rather than that, that is a pointless behavior. Rather than that, treat the 10th like your Success Club deadline. You have to hit Success Club by the 10th. And, that way your goal is reached. And for the rest of the month, you can focus on actually like building relationships and adding value to your challenge group and growing your business. So, change that little mindset, and it'll be life changing, business changing. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk about is taking a leadership stance. Embrace your inner rock star. You are not just a coach or just an emerald or just a diamond or just anything. You are amazing. You have your own unique brand. You have so much to offer, every single one of you. And your brand does not look like my brand. I portray myself as like the personal development chick who happens to be fit. I spend a lot of time strengthening my mindset so I can share that with my following. I write a lot of posts about finding the silver lining. I share a lot about my own personal struggles. I try to approach this, with like humility, because I was always super irritated by people who pretended to know everything and have everything together. So I don't do that. I like to have fun. I like to be silly. I'm a huge nerd. Those are the things that make me unique. And so, you need to figure out the things that make you unique. And, your people who follow you on social media, they're going to see you face struggles and overcome them. And they're going to start falling in love with you. They're going to fall in love with your kids. Like my following has fallen in love with Everett and this little bump that I got going on. They're going to trust you because they like you so much, because they've connected with your posts. They're going to want, to use the same mascara as you, because you're the one that they want to follow. So own that. And then, aside from just that, own your position as a leader. Even if you don't have a team to lead right now, position yourself as a leader. Be active in the chat threads. If somebody asks a question, answer it. If somebody, shares something, respond to it. If something's going on, be active, be present, because what happens when you start answering other people's questions and welcoming new coaches and sharing new stuff you try that works and recognizing other people. Like if somebody shares a post that you really like, sharing it into the chat thread or into the team page and giving them a shout out, those coaches are going to start respecting you as a leader. And they're going to be like, what the heck? Who is this Sherry? She gave me a shout out. I need to go follow her. And they're going to start liking your posts and, commenting on your stuff and raising your Facebook affinity. And they're going to want to be more like you. And, that is how we build community in this. So leadership begets leadership, you guys. It starts with one person deciding to be a river rather than a reservoir, right? So don't keep it all to yourself. Be active and present in the community. And then finally, just really quick, seeking out your own information is huge, 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 huge. Please hear me here. I want to help you with everything in your business. Like I want to answer all your questions. I want to show you how to find all the things, and I want to hold your hand and walk you through everything. But if I hold your hand forever, you're never going to be able to teach your team how to do stuff. And so I just want to encourage you, go look at the FAQ, finish the new coach training. If you've started the new coach training, finish it. I know that it's time, and it takes time, but finish it in May for real. You can do that. And let me see. There was one other thing. Okay. Yeah, just because the sooner you're able to operate independently of anybody else, of your success partner, of your upline, of anyone, the sooner you're going to be able to teach your team how to operate independently. And, you're going to have a team of rock stars because you chose not to hold their hand and spoon feed them. That is how we create leaders. So I always go way long on these, but call to action. We have the vitals check-ins every day this week. I really want to encourage you to take advantage of those. And second call to action is new coach training. Participate in that thread, you guys. If you're in the April new coach training thread, participate in that thread. And let us know where you're at. and, share the things that you're learning and that you like. And then finally, next week, we have a guest speaker on the team call. Taylor Perry from Stephanie Mayalki's team is going to be sharing with us about sharing. So I'm super, super excited. So if you guys can be there, I know that she would love to share with you. Okay, I hope you guys have a good night. I didn't see one person share in the chat box about their personal victory. So I want to see those in the team page. Yeah, I know. I love Taylor. She's awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to stop recording, and I'll see you guys